Gentlemen, comrades, thank you all for coming. It's great to be here. Tonight I'd like to talk to you about how to start a fire. I'm talking to you about Prometheus, a titan that is said to have turned against the gods after the Battle of the Gods, the Cataclysmic War, and stole from them the knowledge of fire. And then he was punished by Zeus. As you can see here, he gets his liver eaten every day by an eagle for all of eternity. So that's pretty gruesome. But before that, he actually managed to give the knowledge of fire to humanity. The knowledge of fire was completely relevant and important for humanity to make some progress because it delivered them from darkness, from cold, and it meant their freedom. So, with the knowledge of fire, this could not be taken from them again, and they used it to build society. Prometheus in this legend is both a hero and a martyr. There was a similar attempt to enable humanity by a mysterious programmer or group of programs, we're not sure, that released an open source protocol in 2008 in the wake of the financial crisis. And Prometheus means forethought, so maybe in order to avoid Prometheus' fate, he remained anonymous, or she, we don't know. And yeah, the software in question is called Bitcoin. It's an open source, distributed, decentralized network, and it enables that for exchange of value. It's very important because it solved a very difficult problem in computer science that had puzzled computer scientists for many decades before that. Yeah, let's take a look at how it works. It's a ledger, it's a distributed ledger, and all transactions that ever take place are being recorded. It's called a blockchain, and every 10 minutes there's a new block added to the chain, which contains the transactions of the previous 10 minutes, but that's on average. And yeah, the network will find a consensus and agree on which transactions are valid. And of course, this all happens without central coordination. When this happens, a new called block will be added to the chain, and new bitcoins then spring into existence. They are the reward for keeping the network safe and secure. We call these people then miners, and yeah, as I said, their job is to validate transactions. They partake in a lottery, and the amount of computing power that they employ improves their chances of winning the next block reward. So they pool their resources, and every 4 years you can see the amount that is rewarded gets cut in half. So that makes for a finite supply, which is of course important for Bitcoin to have any value at all. It's called scarcity, and yeah, there's a limit to how many there can be. The network requires no identification or third party or anything like that. Everybody can use it. And this reduces the barrier of entry all the way down to having internet access, which is, of course, huge for the unbanked, which are approximately 2.5 billion at this point. Bill Gates even talked about the most important tool for African farmers will be their cell phone. Here you can see some of the miners. I'm not sure you can see this very well, but this is the globe, and you can see in Europe and the like, there's some blue dots, so that's where the miners operate. In the long run, they're going to move to the places with the lowest costs of electricity, but we can already see this trend. So this is what Bitcoin does for the underdeveloped countries. It's just huge because it doesn't discriminate against anyone. The reason banks and credit cards and institutions like that don't service the poor is because it's just too risky and too costly. And Bitcoin is the same for everybody. It says, at the moment at least, essentially almost free. Yeah, what does change though is the perception of the public of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been used to purchase drugs and other illegal things, but I think that consumer awareness is improving very quickly, and also consumer acceptance. The software isn't finished yet, it's considered incomplete, it's in beta, and it's already fully functional still. There are some issues that need to be addressed, like ease of user accessibility and security, but those things are being worked on. Yeah, those of you who are tech savvy, you can actually store your funds in very, very smart ways. You can, for instance, come up with a passphrase that you remember, you run through an encryption site and an algorithm, and then you can store the key to your funds in your brain. It's called a brain wallet. Or you could just print it out and it looks something like this. You'll be able to see a key pair where a public key corresponds to a private key, and the left one you can just hand out to everybody. And that's essentially your account number. You can make as many of these as you want. And whatever is on the left side can be unlocked by entering the key on the right side. And yeah, you can be as transparent or as anonymous as you want to be by using as many of these as you want to. Where are we now? 2014, I think, was pretty much year one in the public sphere for Bitcoin. It gained some traction and a lot of public interest in late 2013 when it outperformed just about everything else that was out there. There's been corrections since, as you can see. But it continues to attract venture capital. And yeah, speaking of companies, the biggest companies are probably Dish, Microsoft, Dell, Gift, Tesla, and so on. At the moment, these companies that do accept Bitcoin usually convert into fiat at the moment of purchase. But I think that's going to change eventually. I think they're going to try to pay some of the suppliers or employees a bit differently. At least I hope so. And I'd like to draw the connection with what my friend Ivan told you about the world economic crisis that's probably looming, I think so at least. And yeah, Bitcoin can't be inflated away, so having that is probably, yeah, that's why I bought some. So if any of you have any Bitcoin, I want to show me some love, this is where you can do it. I just want to demonstrate how easy it is. You just scan the QR code from wherever you are. You can send somebody money like that. It arrives like an email in a few seconds usually. And it's push only, so I can't take any more than you give me. And you can stay anonymous doing this. It's just amazing. I think that's the future. And yeah, in closing, I'd like to say we can all take Bitcoin to the moon together. Thank you very much for your attention.
Ja, super. Also für Gabriel, was ist so das Feedback? Finden Sie das Format gut oder was ist so die... Ja. Also es ist schwierig offensichtlich, also ich meine, das glaube ich hat jetzt ja jeder gesehen, ne, wenn man da vorsteht und das so timen muss.